My childhood friend was always a crybaby, and I've called him my darling since we were kids. The day he differentiated into an Enigma, he sobbed and asked me, "If I'm an Enigma, will you still love me?" I, an S-tier alpha, nodded stiffly, my heart sinking. Inside, I was screaming. Chapter 1. The Scent That Shook Me. My phone buzzed on a lazy Saturday afternoon, Vincent's name flashing on the screen. I picked up, expecting his usual whining about a lost textbook or a bad grade. Instead, his voice trembled, barely audible over shaky breaths. "Milton, I think I'm differentiating." I sat up, knocking my soda can off the table. "What? Are you okay? Where are you?" "At home, alone." His voice cracked, a soft whimper slipping through. "It's bad, Milton. I'm burning up." "All right, hang tight, darling. I'm coming over." I grabbed my keys, already halfway to the door. "You're feeling hot, like fever hot?" "Yeah, it's everywhere." His words slurred, followed by a muffled sob. "Hurry, please. I'm on my way. Don't panic. I've got you." I kept my tone steady, trying to calm him as I sprinted out of my apartment. Vincent's differentiation was late, way late. I'd hit S-tier alpha at 16, cocky and ready to take on the world. Vincent, though, 19 and still nothing. Everyone assumed he'd be an Omega. With his soft curls, pale skin, and those long lashes framing eyes like a damn porcelain doll, it was a no-brainer. My Omega darling, I'd thought, smirking to myself as I drove the short distance to his place. Sure, I was worried, but part of me was stupidly excited. I wasn't planning to take advantage of his differentiation heat or anything gross like that. The plan was simple: get him to the hospital, stat. But as I unlocked his apartment door, our families lived in the same building, so I had a key. A wave of jasmine scent slammed into me like a freight train. It was thick, overwhelming, nothing like the sweet Omega pheromones I'd expected. I coughed, doubling over, my knees hitting the floor. "What the hell?" I gasped, clutching the doorframe to steady myself. Fear prickled my spine. This wasn't right. Was Vincent's pheromone concentration off the charts? Or were we incompatible? No time to overthink. I pushed through the suffocating scent, shutting the door behind me. The jasmine grew heavier, clogging my lungs. In the living room, Vincent was sprawled across the couch, his shirt slipping off one shoulder, exposing smooth skin. His eyes, red and teary, locked onto mine. "Milton," he whined, voice breaking. "I feel awful." I knelt beside him, pressing a hand to his forehead, scalding. His shoulders were just as hot. "Can you move? I'll drive you to the hospital. Or I can carry you." He shook his head, pouting like a spoiled prince. "Don't want to move." His gaze softened, needy. "Just hold me." I blinked, caught off guard. "Hold you?" "Yeah." He reached for me, fingers trembling. "Please." My alpha instincts kicked in. If my pheromones could calm him, I'd try. I scooped him into my arms, letting my scent, warm, like sun-dried laundry, wrap around him. Vincent sighed, nuzzling my chest, his nose brushing my collarbone. Most Omegas loved my scent, so I figured it'd help. "Milton, you smell so good," he mumbled, his lips grazing my neck. My whole body stiffened. We'd been close our whole lives, but this was new. His fingers tugged at my shirt, slipping under the hem, and my heart pounded like a drum. Vincent, you feeling any better?" I croaked, desperate to change the subject. "Ready for the hospital?" "A little better," he murmured, still clinging to me. "But I need more." His hand slid higher, brushing the sensitive gland at the back of my neck. I sucked in a breath. "Whoa, easy there, darling. Don't touch that." He ignored me, his fingers kneading the gland with a curious hum. "It smells amazing. Can I lick it?" I froze. "Lick it? What kind of question is that?" His eyes welled up, tears spilling over. "You said you'd take care of me. Now you won't even let me touch you? You hate me, don't you?" No, I don't hate you." I panicked, wiping his tears with my sleeve. Fine. Do whatever. Just stop crying. Okay? Vincent's face lit up, and before I could brace myself, he leaned in, his tongue brushing my gland. A jolt shot through me, like I'd stuck a fork in a socket. My alpha instincts screamed to push him away. Gland contact was intimate, territorial, but his grip on my wrist was firm. He hummed, eyes fluttering shut, and then his teeth sank into my gland. Pain exploded, sharp and searing, like my soul was being ripped in two. I groaned, cold sweat beading on my forehead. Vincent's jasmine scent flooded my senses, his pheromones pouring into me. He was marking me. But why? Omegas don't mark alphas. Was he some rare omega variant? My vision blurred, the question spinning in my head as the room tilted. Milton. Vincent's voice was distant, worried. Milton, you okay? I tried to answer, but the pain was too much. My knees buckled, and everything went black. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, the sterile scent cutting through the lingering jasmine in my nose. Vincent was in the next room, probably freaking out. My neck throbbed where he'd bitten me, a temporary mark pulsing under the skin. I touched it, wincing. What the hell just happened? Why was he marking me? Chapter 2: Tears in the Hospital Bed. Vincent's hospital room smelled faintly of antiseptic, but his jasmine scent still lingered, sharp and overwhelming. I sat on the edge of his bed, clutching a report the doctor had handed me. The word Enigma stared back in bold print, mocking every fantasy I'd ever had about Vincent being my sweet Omega darling. My brain short-circuited. Enigma? Vincent? The guy who cried when he lost his favorite scarf? Doc, you sure this isn't a mix-up? I asked, voice cracking as I waved the paper. Like, maybe your machine's broken or you grabbed the wrong file? The doctor, a middle-aged guy with glasses perched on his nose, sighed like he'd heard this a million times. No mix-up, Milton. The tests are accurate. Physical appearance doesn't dictate secondary gender. But he's Vincent. I gestured vaguely, as if that explained everything. He's all soft and pretty. Enigmas are supposed to be, like, intense, right? Intense or not, he's an enigma. The doctor adjusted his glasses. Also, he's got pheromone dysregulation syndrome. Means he can't control his output too much, too strong. Suppressants will help, but a partner's pheromones are more effective. I opened my mouth to clarify Vincent wasn't my partner. Not yet. Anyway, but the words twisted. Is it serious? Not life-threatening, he said, typing on his tablet. Standard suppressants work fine, but a compatible partner's scent is better than any drug. Natural's always best. He patted my shoulder and left, leaving me staring at the floor, my world crumbling like a badly built sandcastle. Vincent, an enigma, my childhood dream of him as my Omega, all soft and cuddly, shattered. I'd spent years imagining our future, me as the strong alpha, him as my darling, maybe even picking out names for kids. Now, he'd marked me. My neck still ached. His jasmine scent burned into my gland. I rubbed the mark, wincing. Our pheromones clashed hard, his overpowering mine like a tidal wave. No wonder I'd passed out. But Vincent, he'd seemed fine, nuzzling my neck like it was his favorite pillow. Pushing down the panic, I shuffled to Vincent's room. He was curled up on the bed, hugging his knees, tears streaming down his face. His dark curls stuck to his cheeks, and his eyes, red and glassy, made my chest ache. Hey, darling, I said softly, sitting beside him. I grabbed a box of tissues, pulling out a handful. You're gonna drown us if you keep crying like that. He sniffled, grabbing a tissue. Milton, I'm ruined. I didn't turn into an Omega. You're gonna leave me, aren't you? What? No way. I wiped a tear from his cheek, forcing a grin. You think I'd ditch you over this? We've been through too much. Like that time you cried because I ate your last cookie. He hiccuped, a tiny laugh breaking through. You're the worst. But his eyes searched mine, desperate. You'll still go to class with me? Like always. Obviously, I said, ruffling his hair. You're stuck with me, Enigma or not. His face brightened, and he leaned forward, wrapping his arms around my waist. His nose brushed my neck again, right over the mark. Can I bite you again? I yelped, practically leaping off the bed. Whoa, hold up. Let's not do that right now. My neck throbbed just thinking about it. Vincent's face fell, his lips trembling. You don't like it, do you? You hate my pheromones. No, it's not that. I waved my hands, scrambling for words. It's just, our scents are fighting a bit, you know? It hurts like hell when you bite me. The doctor said it won't always hurt, he mumbled, pouting. If we keep marking, you'll get used to it. Your body will accept my pheromones. Keep marking, I squeaked, my voice hitting a pitch I didn't know I had. How many times are we talking here? Big mistake. Vincent's eyes watered again, tears spilling like a broken faucet. You don't want me to mark you at all, do you? You only want an Omega. Vincent, no, that's not. You said you loved me, he wailed, clutching the tissue like a lifeline. You called me your darling forever. And now you're backing out because I'm not some soft Omega you can show off. My head spun. Back when we were kids, I'd shouted, I love you, darling, at every family barbecue. Half joking, half dreaming. He'd taken it to heart. And yeah, I'd meant it, but this Enigma thing? It was a lot. Vincent, listen, I said, sitting back down and grabbing his hands. I'm not backing out. I just need time to wrap my head around this. It's a big change. Okay? He sniffled, wiping his nose. How much time? I don't know. A few weeks? Maybe a month? A month? His voice shot up, incredulous. You're gonna make me wait a whole month? Well, you're not exactly making this easy, darling. I teased, trying to lighten the mood. You can't just bite me every time you get cranky. He glared, but a small smile tugged at his lips. Your gland smells too good to resist. I groaned, rubbing my face. You're gonna be the death of me. He leaned closer, his breath warm against my neck. Just one more sniff? Vincent. I shoved him gently, laughing despite myself. No sniffing, no biting. Let's just chill for a bit. Okay? He pouted but nodded, his shoulders slumping. Fine. But you better not run off with some Omega while I'm waiting. Deal, I said, holding out my pinky. He hooked his with mine, a ghost of his usual grin returning. As I left the room, my hand brushed my neck, the mark still tingling. A month. I had a month to figure out if I could love Vincent as an Enigma, not the Omega I dreamed of. The thought terrified me, but his teary eyes burned in my mind. Couldn't let him down. Not after everything we'd been through. Chapter 3, Jealousy on the Court. Monday morning, I pulled up to Vincent's apartment in my beat-up sedan, the engine grumbling as I waited for him to hop in. He slid into the passenger seat, his curls still damp from a shower, smelling faintly of jasmine even without his pheromones going haywire. I tried not to stare, focusing on the road as we headed to campus. His Enigma status was still sinking in, and my neck ached from his mark, a constant reminder of our mess. Back at the dorm, my roommate Wesley was waiting to pounce. Yo, Milton, what's that smell? He said, sniffing the air like a bloodhound. Your room reeks of Enigma. Vincent really went and marked you. Huh? I groaned, tossing my backpack onto my bunk. Yeah, okay, laugh it up. Laugh? Man, this is legendary. Wesley grinned, leaning against the doorframe. Big bad S-tier alpha, tamed by a crybaby Enigma. You two tying the knot yet, or what? Shut up, I muttered, kicking his shin lightly. We're not even dating. Yet, he said, dodging another kick. Bet you're loving the attention, though. Vincent's got you on a leash. I ignored him, but his words stung. I'd planned to confess to Vincent once he differentiated into an Omega, maybe with flowers and a cheesy speech. Now, I was the one marked and the whole dorm knew. By afternoon, I hit the basketball court to clear my head. The game was intense, sweat dripping as I sank a three-pointer. But whispers followed me. Heard Vincent's an enigma now, one guy muttered. Milton's screwed, another laughed. Then came the Omegas, 3 of them, shyly offering water bottles and handwritten notes. I forced a smile, stacking their letters on a bench. I tossed them later. No need to hurt their feelings in public. Mid-game, I spotted Vincent on the sidelines, arms crossed, his face a storm cloud. My stomach sank. He always showed up to watch me play, but today his eyes were locked on the pile of notes. Before I could explain, he marched over, grabbed a towel, and started wiping my sweaty forehead with more force than necessary. Vincent, you good? I asked, wincing as he practically scrubbed my scalp off. Peachy, he said, voice icy. He shoved a water bottle into my hand, ignoring the stack of Omega-scented letters. Before I could speak, a perky voice cut in. Milton, fancy seeing you here. Tommy, an Omega from the campus activities board, bounced over, holding out a water bottle. His bright smile and carefully styled hair screamed effort. You were amazing out there. Thirsty? Thanks, but I'm good, I said, holding up Vincent's bottle. Tommy, right? From the basketball club flyers. His eyes sparkled. You remembered. I was just saying, your jump shot's unreal. Vincent's grip on the towel tightened, his jasmine scent spiking. Milton, he said, voice low and dangerous. Am I invisible or something? I blinked. What? No, you're... Oh, I get it. Vincent interrupted, turning to Tommy. I'm not dead yet, but you're already swooping in, huh? The air thickened, his pheromones rolling out like a tidal wave. Every alpha on the court froze, and the Omegas nearby looked ready to bolt. Tommy's face paled, his bottle slipping from his hand. I wasn't. Scram! Vincent snapped, his eyes flashing. Tommy stumbled back, nearly tripping as he fled. I stared, mouth dry. Vincent, what the hell was that? He spun on me, pulling a crumpled stack of love letters from his pocket. What's this, Milton? Your new fan club. His voice cracked, tears brimming. You're collecting Omega love notes now, aren't you? Picking out your favorite. No, I didn't ask for those. I protested, my neck throbbing under his mark. His pheromones were crushing me, making my knees wobble. I was gonna toss them. Sure you were, he said, tossing the letters at my feet. You love the attention, don't you? Big alpha star, flirting with every Omega on campus. Flirting? I was just playing basketball, I said, exasperated. You think I'm out here trying to charm people? I'm just trying to not suck at free throws. His tears spilled over, and he turned to leave. Fine, go pick your perfect Omega. I'm done. 3 steps later, he stopped, spinning back around. Why aren't you chasing me? You don't even care enough to stop me now. I clutched my neck, his pheromones making my head spin. Vincent, for the love of... Can you tone down the scent? I can't move. His eyes widened, and the jasmine wave receded slightly. Oh, sorry, he mumbled, stepping closer. He touched my shoulder, his fingers grazing my gland. Does it hurt? A little, I admitted, wincing. Your pheromones are like a sledgehammer. He bit his lip, tears still falling. I didn't mean to. I just saw those letters and Tommy, and... I get it, I said, softening. But I'm not into Tommy or anyone else. Can we talk about this without you turning the court into a pheromone war zone? He sniffled, nodding. Okay, but you're not off the hook. I sighed, grabbing his hand. Come on, darling. Let's get you home before you scare off the whole team. He leaned into me, his scent calming but still sharp. You better not break my heart, Milton. Wouldn't dream of it, I said, though my chest tightened. I needed to figure out how to love an Enigma, not the Omega I'd expected. Vincent's jealousy wasn't helping, but those tears, they were chipping away at my resolve. Chapter 4. Temptation in the Spotlight. Vincent's angel costume was a problem. At the university's drama festival, he floated across the stage, white gauze draped over his shoulders, fake wings fluttering behind him. His curls caught the stage lights, And his smile, damn, that smile, could have stopped traffic. I sat in the audience, torn between pride and the urge to throw my jacket over him. Too much skin, too many eyes on him. Backstage, he spotted me and waved like a kid showing off a new toy. Milton, over here. I weaved through the crowd of actors, dodging feather boas and glitter. Vincent practically glowed, his outfit leaving little to the imagination. You trying to give me a heart attack? I said, shrugging off my jacket and draping it over his shoulders. Put this on before you catch a cold, or someone else's attention. He laughed, twirling a wingtip. What, jealous already? His voice dropped, teasing, as he leaned closer. This looks just for you, you know? My ears burned. Yeah, right. You're out here charming the whole campus. Good. He smirked, stepping so close his jasmine scent tickled my nose. Am I prettier than those Omegas throwing themselves at you? I groaned, rubbing my neck where his mark still lingered. Vincent, you're fishing for compliments, and I'm not biting. Say it. He pressed, batting his lashes. I'm prettier, right? Fine. I muttered, my face hot. You're the prettiest. Happy now. His grin was blinding, and he bounced off to join his castmates, leaving me to stew in the audience. The whole performance, my eyes were glued to him. Every move, every line, he was magnetic, an alpha trap in angel wings. I wasn't the only one noticing. Whispers from nearby alphas about that Enigma made my fists clench. After the show, I waited as the crowd thinned, scrolling my phone. Vincent texted, dropped my foundation in the dressing room. Grab it for me? Classic Vincent losing stuff. I sighed, heading backstage. The dressing room was dim, makeup and costumes strewn across tables. I poked around, squinting at compacts, clueless about which was his. Vincent, where are you? I muttered, typing a reply. A soft click made me jump. The door locked behind me. Before I could turn, Vincent's arms slid around my waist, his chin resting on my shoulder. His reflection in the mirror was all mischief, his wings discarded but the gauze still clinging to him. Vincent, what the... I started, heart racing. Shoo! He whispered, a finger to his lips. His other hand slipped under my shirt, grazing my stomach. If you don't like it, push me away. My breath hitched. You're playing dirty, darling. Maybe. His voice was low, teasing, as he pressed closer. You gonna run? I should have. My brain screamed to stop this, to keep things clear until I sorted out my feelings. But his eyes in the mirror, those wide, crystalline eyes, locked me in place. His fingers brushed my gland, sending a shiver down my spine. Vincent, we shouldn't. Why not? His lips hovered near my ear, warm and soft. You like it. I can tell. I gripped the table, my face burning. It's not about liking it. We're not. Ugh, you're making this hard. Good. He purred, then licked my gland. A jolt shot through me, half pleasure, half pain. Before I could protest, his teeth sank in, jasmine pheromones flooding my system. The sting was sharp but softer than last time, mingling with a warmth that made my knees weak. I gasped, clutching the mirror. Vincent, you little... He pulled back, grinning like a cat with cream. You didn't push me away. You're impossible. I panted, my head spinning. His scent was everywhere, drowning out my own. I wanted to be mad, but the way he looked, half angel, half devil, killed my resolve. He giggled, tracing my jaw. You're cute when you're flustered, Milton. Cute. I scoffed, shoving his hand away gently. I'm trying to be responsible here. We can't keep doing this. His smile faded, eyes narrowing. Why not? You're mine, aren't you? It's not that simple, I said, stepping back. I need boundaries, Vincent. We're not dating. You can't just mark me whenever you feel like it. His face crumpled, tears welling up. So I'm just what? A mistake. No. I grabbed his shoulders, panicking. You're not a mistake. I just need time to figure out what we are. I don't want to mess this up. He sniffled, wiping his eyes. You're ashamed of me. Because I'm not an Omega. Vincent, stop, I said softer now. I'm not ashamed. I grew up thinking you'd be one thing and now you're this. It's a lot. Okay? He looked down, his voice small. You don't like my pheromones. I like them too much, I admitted, then cursed myself. That's the problem. They're driving me crazy, but I need to think straight. He bit his lip, nodding reluctantly. Fine. No more marking. For now. Thank you, I said, exhaling. Let's just take it slow. He grabbed his foundation from the table, tossing me a weak smile. You better not make me wait forever, Milton. As we left, his scent lingered on me, a reminder of how hard it was to resist him. I needed to get my head straight, but Vincent wasn't making it easy. Chapter 5. Bar games break his heart. Vincent's absence hit harder than I expected. For 2 weeks, he'd been distant, dodging our usual routines. I'd asked for space to think, but his sulky texts and canceled plans left me rattled. Friday evening, I waited outside his dorm, leaning against my car, only to get a message from his roommate. Vincent went home early. No explanation, just gone. My phone pinged again, basketball team group chat. The captain, Jake, was rallying us for drinks at a local bar. I hesitated, then texted Vincent, heading to the Rusty Anchor with the team. Might be late. Get some rest. Okay? No reply. I sighed, figuring he was fine. He was an enigma now, tougher than most. What did he need me for? The bar was loud, packed with students. I nursed a beer, half listening to Jake's game recaps. Then someone suggested a stupid game, King's Orders. I wasn't thrilled, but the team's energy pulled me in. I drew a card, number 4, and groaned as Jake, grinning like a jackass, called out, 4 and 5, hug it out. I glanced at my card, then froze. Number 5 was Tommy, that Omega from the basketball court, standing up with a shy smile. He wasn't even on the team. How'd he end up here? My stomach dropped. If Vincent heard about this, I'd be toast. Milton, you cool with it? Tommy asked, his eyes hopeful. Pass? I said, waving him off. No offense, man. I'm just not feeling it. His face fell. Oh, okay. I'll drink then. He grabbed a glass, chugging it too fast, coughing as it went down wrong. His eyes watered, and I felt like a jerk. Dude, Milton, don't make the kid cry. Jake laughed, slapping the table. Just hug him. What's the big deal? Hug. Hug. The team chanted, banging their glasses. I shook my head, reaching for my own drink to take the penalty. A cold voice cut through the noise. I'll drink. Vincent stood there, eyes blazing, his jasmine scent spiking sharp enough to silence the room. He snatched my glass and downed it in one go, his face scrunching at the taste. Before I could stop him, he grabbed another, then a third, his cheeks flushing pink. Vincent, what are you doing? I stood, grabbing his arm. You're gonna make yourself sick. He shoved me, wobbling. Let go. You want to play with Omegas? Fine, I'll play too. He pushed past Jake, plopping into the seat beside me, glaring at Tommy. The team, sensing drama, switched games. Spin the bottle, truth edition, answer or drink. The bottle landed on me first. Tommy, still red-eyed, mumbled, Milton, what do you think of me? Vincent's glare could have melted steel. I sighed, rubbing my temples. Tommy, you're nice, but I don't really know you. No offense. Drink, Jake yelled, but I held up a hand. I'm not lying, and I glanced at Vincent, whose eyes were suspiciously shiny. I've already got someone I like. The table erupted, hoots and cheers drowning out my words. Vincent's lips trembled, but he said nothing, staring at his hands. The bottle spun again, landing on Vincent. Jake grinned. Vincent, you into Milton or what? The room went wild, glasses clinking, voices shouting. Vincent lifted his head, eyes red and locked on mine. I don't like Milton, he said, voice shaking. He grabbed a glass and drank. My heart sank. I hate Milton, he continued, downing another. I hate seeing him every day. Another drink. I don't care about riding in his stupid car or sitting next to him in class. His voice cracked, tears spilling. I don't care if he talks to Omegas, smiling like some dumb son. I don't want to mark him. I don't want to keep him forever. He reached for the bottle, but I yanked it away. Enough, Vincent. I stood, pulling him up. We're leaving. He stumbled, clinging to my arm, drunk and sobbing. You're the worst, Milton. Yeah, I know, I muttered, steering him toward the door. The team's laughter faded as I half-carried him to a cab. In the back seat, he curled against me, still crying. You only like Omegas, he slurred. Not me. Vincent, that's not true, I said, wiping his tears with my sleeve. I just needed time to think. Think what? He hiccuped. That I'm not good enough? No, that I'm an idiot who's scared of screwing this up. I admitted, my throat tight. You're more than good enough. He blinked up at me, eyes glassy. You're lying. I'm not, I said softer. Let's get you home, okay? He mumbled something incoherent, burying his face in my chest. My neck tingled where his mark lingered, and I realized how much I'd missed him these past weeks. I'd asked for space, but it only made things worse. At his apartment, I helped him inside, his arms still wrapped around me. Don't leave, he whispered, voice small. I'm not going anywhere. I promised, my chest aching. I needed to fix this. Fix us. But first, I had to get him sober and safe. As I tucked him onto the couch, his hand gripped mine, and I knew I couldn't keep running from what I felt. Not anymore. Chapter 6. Ring seals are forever. Vincent's sobs echoed in the dim apartment, his tears soaking my shirt as I carried him inside. The cab ride had been a mess. Him slurring Milton, you idiot, between hiccups. Me trying to keep him from sliding off the seat. Now, sprawled on his couch, he clung to my neck, refusing to let go. Don't leave, he mumbled, his voice thick with alcohol and tears. You only like Omegas, don't you? I sighed, prying his arms off gently. Vincent, you're drunk. Let's get you to bed. He pouted, eyes glassy. You didn't answer. You hate me, 'cause I'm not an Omega. For the last time, I don't hate you, I said, exasperated. I'm here, aren't I? His lip trembled, but he let me help him up. I half-carried him to his bedroom, laying him on the sheets. As I turned to grab a blanket, a faint light caught my eye, coming from the bathroom. No sound, no water running, just silence. Vincent, I called, knocking on the door. Nothing. My gut twisted. You in there? A muffled whimper answered, barely audible but sharp with pain. My heart stopped. I pounded the door, panic rising. Vincent, open up. No response. I didn't think, just kicked. The door splintered open, and the sight inside nearly floored me. Vincent stood at the sink, head bowed, curls falling over his face. One hand held a pair of scissors, the blade pressed against his neck, blood trickling down his skin. He was trying to cut out his gland. Vincent! I lunged, yanking the scissors away. They clattered into the sink. Are you out of your mind? He fought me, weak and shaky. Let go. I don't want it anymore. His voice broke, tears streaming. If I'm not an Omega, you'll never love me. I'll just get rid of it. My chest ached like I'd been punched. I pulled him into my arms, holding tight as he struggled. Stop it, Vincent. You don't need to be an Omega. You're enough. Liar, he sobbed, pushing against me. You won't let me mark you. You don't want me. I cupped his face, forcing him to meet my eyes. I'm an idiot, okay? I was scared, but I'm not anymore. Before he could argue, I kissed him, soft and quick, tasting salt from his tears. Don't ever do that again, darling. He froze, eyes wide, then shoved me against the wall. His jasmine scent surged, pinning me in place. You called me darling, he whispered, lips brushing mine. Yeah, I did, I said, my face burning. Meant it, too. He kissed me back, fierce and desperate, his tears mixing with mine. The kiss deepened, his lips soft and jasmine sweet, pulling me under. When we parted, breathless, he was still crying, but his eyes held a spark of hope. "We need to get that cleaned up," I said, nodding at his neck. "Come on." At the hospital, the same doctor from before checked Vincent's wound. "Lucky," he said, bandaging the shallow cut. "Missed the gland entirely. Keep it clean, and he'll be fine." He handed me a prescription for suppressants. 50 vials, 3 a day. 3 a day. I gawked. "That's a pharmacy's worth." "Enigma metabolism," the doctor said, unfazed. "Higher dose, higher frequency." Vincent shrugged, looking sheepish. "I didn't tell you, 'cause I didn't want you to feel trapped." "Trapped?" I grabbed his hand, frowning. "You think I'd stick around out of pity?" He looked away, mumbling, "Maybe." I squeezed his hand. "Vincent, I'm here because I want to be." I hesitated, then turned to the doctor. "If I let him mark me permanently, would that help? With the dysregulation?" Vincent's head snapped up, eyes wide. The doctor nodded. "Permanent marking stabilizes enigmas better than suppressants. But with an S-tier alpha like you, it might fade. You'd need regular reinforcement." My face went scarlet. "Reinforcement. Got it." Vincent giggled, his first real laugh all night. "You're blushing, Milton." "Shut up," I muttered, but I couldn't hide my smile. Back at his apartment, dawn was breaking. Vincent, sober now, grabbed my shirt. "So, permanent mark? You serious?" I swallowed, nodding. "Yeah, but don't make it weird." "Weird?" He grinned, pulling me close. "I'm gonna make it very weird." His pheromones flared, jasmine weaving with my sun-warmed scent. He kissed me, slow and deliberate, then moved to my neck. The bite stung, but the pain melted into warmth, his scent sinking into me. I didn't pass out this time, just clung to him, dizzy but grounded. It took hours, his Enigma pheromones wrestling with my alpha ones. By the time he finished, we were tangled on his bed, exhausted. He curled against me, asleep, his arms like a vice. I woke first, every muscle screaming. Wincing, I slipped out, heading to my apartment across the hall. I grabbed the small box I'd hidden for months. A pair of rings, bought when I still thought he'd be an Omega. Back in his room, I nudged him awake. "Vincent, give me your hand." He blinked, groggy, holding out his left hand. I slid the silver ring onto his finger, then put the matching one on mine. Kneeling by the bed, I met his eyes. "I was gonna confess all proper, but you keep throwing me off. I love you, Vincent. Enigma, Omega, whatever, you're my darling. Will you marry me?" His eyes welled up, but his smile was radiant. "Milton, yes." He tackled me, laughing through tears, and we fell back, rings glinting in the morning light.